In this walkthrough, you'll learn how to use SharePoint and Power Automate to create a simple flow for sending an email every time a new item has been created in a SharePoint list. By combining the functionality and features of SharePoint and Power Automate, you can build automated business processes to simplify the user's everyday workload, or just to ensure consistency in how certain business processes are managed and function. There are a number of scenarios where this could be useful. For example, approval flows or working with files and lists. So when working with files and lists, maybe you want to, again, send an email when an item is created, or send an email when a new PDF or a new document is uploaded to a document library. Maybe you need to move files around, or you could update list item permissions, file item permissions. You could create folders. You can manage metadata of files and items, right? There are a number of things that you can do by combining the functionality and features of Power Automate with SharePoint. But again, in this example, we're just going to take a look at a simple flow for sending an email every time an item is created. But just know that there is far more sophisticated flows and business processes that you could automate. So to start off, you want to log into Power Automate, or in the upper left, you could click on the waffle from Office 365 and click on Power Automate. In the search for a template by app, task, or industry, type in SharePoint. First of all, we just want to look at all of the templates available in Power Automate for SharePoint in case there's one that already fits our need. Because if there is, then we don't need to create it manually, which you could, but if the template exists for exactly what we want to do, then let's just use the template because that's a better approach. Click on search. Take a moment to scroll through all of the available templates for SharePoint. But the one we're going to use for this example is send an email when a new item is created in SharePoint. On the send an email when a new item is created in SharePoint screen, just make sure that both of your connections are green. If they are, you're good to go and you can click on continue. If not, click the three dots and add your connection. But we'll click on continue. And now here I can see I have two steps. I have my trigger, which is the SharePoint when a new item is created. So every time a new item is created in a list, we're going to have it send an email. And again, there's the send an email action. So it already created the steps that we needed. Now for this example, it might not seem like much because it's only two steps, but again, as you get to building more complex flows and you use more complex templates, there are more steps. But I will enter a site address and list name. I will be using marketing department and the list name expenses. In the send an email portion, you have a to, a subject, and a body. You could enter the person's email address in manually, or if you have dynamic content and you know that you have their email, you could do that as well. But for this example, I'll just enter somebody manually. I'll go with Deborah. In the subject and body, you could leave them how they are, or you could modify them. For this example, I will modify them slightly. There we go. Then you can expand show advanced options to see the additional information that you could add to this email. Collapse, advanced options, save your flow. And that's it. You successfully created a flow using a template that will send an email every time a new item is submitted to a SharePoint list.